But a black man, I hope you're doing well. I hope you're protecting your mental, and finding time for an emotional release valve. I wanted to make this video about how journaling changed my life because of a comment that was left on one of my videos about journaling. That brother was sharing how, he was looking for somebody, a black man, another black man who journals and likes to journal and, wants to find benefit to journaling from a black person. It makes sense. And I figured, okay, why not talk about journaling? I'm going to do like a mini series, I guess, of videos about journaling. And I wanted to start with how journaling actually changed my life and benefited my life. So first, I want to talk about why I journal. Kind of got to give a little backstory to even how I developed this discipline, because that's all journaling really is. It's a discipline. It's a skill that you can develop. Anybody can do it. And there are various ways to do that. And I'll be talking about that in future videos. I really started journaling as a way to practice my handwriting when I was in elementary school, because my handwriting was terrible. It was absolute trash. And actually, even with all that journaling, it never got any better. My handwriting is still pretty trash. And I'm very grateful that I learned how to type. And I learned how to type fairly quickly. My mom, when it came to my handwriting, was just like, your handwriting is pretty much god awful. So you actually need to do work. You need to put in this extra effort so that you can write legibly, so that people can understand what you're trying to say. Because you talk a lot. As a child, I did. I talked a lot. I used to get in trouble for talking a lot in class. I like to tell stories, and I was a very animated child. Now that I think about it, but my mom was like, no, you need to do this. So you need to come home and in a little composition book, you need to write every day to practice your handwriting so that your handwriting can get better. And like I said, my handwriting never really improved, but I developed the discipline of writing every day. And I think the interesting part is my mom was really stressing that. And I think a lot of a lot of people were at the time when I was growing up in the 90s, still stressing the importance of writing by hand. So like whether it's cursive or in penmanship in general. And then now they don't even teach that stuff in school. I just find it very interesting how times have changed, and all of the efforts and things that are considered valuable don't matter. But I am glad that I know how to type. That much is good. So it took me a while, though. It took me a while, even with doing that practice of trying to improve my handwriting. It took me a while to actually develop the discipline and the consistency to write every day. It actually took me a few years to really grasp it. And I guess part of that is because I was trying to start this practice when I was a child. So I was elementary school age, and it didn't really click until about 8th or 9th grade. So it took a while. So like I would start maybe a journal for like a couple of days and then drop it. I would then pick it up months later, try it again, drop it. Same thing. At some point, it stuck. And I started journaling every day. I started writing down my thoughts every day. I started talking about what I did every day. I'm glad, that discipline happened, because it did two things. One, it helped me to capture my thoughts and my emotions and help me to express myself. But it also kind of inspired me and helped me to become a writer. So as a child, and I mean, I still do, but as a child, I had an interest in writing stories. I wanted to become an author, and I wanted to write like sci-fi fantasy kind of stuff. I did a podcast episode as episode 10 on the Beneficial Black Man podcast. It's an older podcast, so it's probably labeled Dude Make Something podcast, but I talked about my creative influences and the things that have inspired me creatively. I used to read books by author K.A. Applegate, and her main series that I loved so much that really just, it gripped me in middle school into like high school was this book series called Everworld. And she had a follow-up series. It was a separate type of series, but it was more like sci-fi, called Remnants. And so I just consumed those books, and they really influenced me to want to become an author and to write stories and to tell stories and things like that. So this discipline of journaling, which started from trying to practice my handwriting, tied in to my desire to become an author and to write. It helped because I was now not only journaling my thoughts and having a place to express myself, I was also practicing my writing craft. I was practicing my creative writing. I was doing poetry. I was writing short stories. I was writing scripts. I was writing dialogues to be used in movies and things like that. So it worked hand in hand with me developing like my creativity and my creative skills, and I guess my creative gifts. And so like journaling, that process of journaling, that discipline of journaling, it really changed my life because it gave me space and freedom to express myself, as well as develop my creative confidence. Why I journal? Really, I feel like because I have to. Like I have to journal. I have to express myself. I have to get my thoughts out. I have to get my feelings out. I have to get these ideas out, whether it's writing down dreams, whether it's writing down stories, whether it's writing down notes that I when I study the Bible, I write. So if I'm reading a passage of scripture and some thoughts or inspiration or questions I have to write them down. I have to write. Like if I don't write, I feel like it sounds weird. If I don't write, I feel like I can't be well. And there have been moments of my life where I wasn't writing. I wasn't journaling. Things just didn't feel right. It's kind of like wearing clothes that just don't fit right. Whether they're too big or they're too small, you just feel uncomfortable. But when you put on that right outfit, when you put on that right pair of jeans or that right hoodie, the right shirt, and you feel good, you look good, everything just goes well. And I feel like writing and journaling really helped me to do that, and of course it started from a place of trying to help develop a skill set that was supposed to be beneficial for, my life in regards to like education or employment and stuff like that, learning how to write well, write legibly. But it turned and transformed into something bigger and better for my life. Again, journaling changed my life because it gave me space and freedom to express myself. Jokingly, whether it's in movies or TV shows or whatever, I don't know if it's the same now, but this idea of, say, a kid, it's usually a young girl, a young lady, they have a diary, and they save all of their secrets, all of their deepest passions and things in that space, and it's private. And they protect it with their life and they don't want anybody to see it or anything like that. Journaling was that for me. If I was upset about something or I was dealing with something, I knew that on the pages of that black and white marble composition book, I could pour out all of my feelings, all of my pain, all of my frustrations, all of my joys, all of my deeper secrets or whatever I could put in those pages on those lines. And I felt safe. I felt seen. I felt heard. And even when I would make time to go back and reread the things that I wrote, it would help me to like see myself. Because even now today, if I go back a month ago to read something, a journal entry, it's almost like I'm reading the story of a totally different person. It's not to say that I'm rapidly changing that much, but it's just this idea that that moment captures me at a specific time. Again, journaling in various forms. Again, it sounds so churchy, but like, has really blessed my life, like actually, as I'm making this video, I'm having this revelation that journaling and the skill set of writing has really changed my life and helped me immensely. And I really couldn't live without journaling, without this opportunity to be able to have a safe space to express myself and the freedom to express myself, to say whatever I want to say and not have to worry about editing myself. Because that's the thing, like as I'm recording this video, I'm definitely going to edit it. I'm not gonna give you certain stuff just because it's important when we're communicating and relating to other people that we have to be mindful of what we say. Having a journal, having that space, that privacy of that place, that's where you really can be raw, where you really can be vulnerable. And maybe even to some degree, if you go to a therapist or a counselor, you can have that kind of space. But I know that if I really needed to, I could go to the dollar store, get me a journal or some journals, some cheap pens, and I could start my journey of expressing myself, writing stories, creating things, and continuing to operate in this creativity, continue to make space to help manage my mental and emotional well-being. I still journal to process my thoughts, to capture ideas, and to help me better understand myself. So I journal because I have to journal. I have to journal so that I can be my best self, so that I can continue to grow. It's changed my life because, again, it's created this space, this freedom and this space so that I can develop as an artist, as an author, as a creative writer, but also develop as a man. So, as I continue on this series of sharing the importance of journaling and different tips and things that I've learned about journaling, again, I just wanted you all to know why I journal, why it's so important to me, and why I would recommend it as a very simple emotional release valve. In future videos, I'm going to share the benefits of journaling, like there's actual medical results and benefits to journaling and why it's important to develop that discipline and put it in your life. And I'm also going to share different journaling techniques that I personally use and some other ones that I hope that you will find helpful. Thanks for watching and supporting the channel. I really, really do appreciate it. Let me know if you journal. Why do you journal? Let me know in the comments why you journal or keep a diary or however you want to call it. Let me know in the comments below. Until next time, keep protecting your mental, find time for an emotional release valve, and keep becoming beneficial. Peace.